how do you guys feel about the Pacers and specifically Tyrese and where that panic meter is at?
Before y'all go, respectfully, don't put Drew with me. This is my war. I am the Holly hater. This is me alone here. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. I'm so excited.
I have called him the most overrated player in basketball.
Oh my God. I mean, we don't know. He has. I can't argue. The numbers don't lie. Men and women do. Numbers don't lie, man. Me and Carson opened the show today talking about Haliburton because it arguably is the biggest story in basketball right now. And me and him reached the same conclusion. We don't think the guy's healthy right now. We think that there's something lingering with Haliburton and his injuries. Hold up.
Watch how he's moving. Drew,
they're not buying that explanation.
I will give y'all Carson's quote today from the show because I thought he said it really well. If he is healthy, this is the biggest regression we've ever seen.
Oh, shocking. Let me take this one.
Can I say something before you go, Carson? Why I laugh? I'm not laughing at you guys. Hands to God, I love you guys like brothers. I'm laughing because he's been hurt since January of this year.
But here's the thing. So I think that there are some fallacies that get spread about Hallie. I think that there are some people who go out there and say he had a Linsanity run last year, okay? Did he have an unbelievably hot pull-up shooting run, scoring run for the first 30-plus games that he wasn't going to be able to replicate? Yes. And then did he struggle down the home stretch of the regular season coming back from the hamstring injury? Yes. Did he struggle in the playoffs? No. I think that that's where people misconstrue things. He let out the best offense in the playoff field. He was doing his thing. He was extremely efficient. And this is what I always talk about Hallie. The box score underestimates his impact because his greatest strength is that he is a brilliant decision maker. He creates an advantage. Then what does he do? He hits that skip pass. He puts the defense in rotation.
Jumps in the air high.
Jumps in the air sometimes, does something cool, something goofy, but it's extremely effective. It leads to great team offense. That's what he is. You see it in the half court, pick and roll, ridiculously efficient, incredible decision maker. You see it in transition. He's the best hit-ahead passer in basketball. He leads out the best up-tempo offense in basketball. So those are all things that he did after people said that he had fallen off. That's what he did in the postseason, right? And you can call it a Mickey Mouse Eastern Conference Finals run because, listen, it wasn't a full strength East. It wasn't a healthy East. I would agree with that. But that doesn't discount that they were putting forth the best offense in the playoff field and that Tyrese Haliburton was the driving factor for that. So if you look at that player after the hamstring injury and think that's the player you're looking at right now, or that like it's even within the reasonable realm of possibility that that is the same dude and he's still healthy and like there's nothing weird going on, that's crazy to me. Because this is a dude who doesn't look like he belongs on a basketball court right now, doesn't look comfortable doing anything. And like, yeah, I guess it's possible that he's healthy. And like Logan said, that'd be the craziest fall off I've ever seen from a basketball player who should be in the heart of their prime. Not even maybe at his prime yet. The guy's 24 years old. But it's not just like the lack of confidence on ball, right? It's not just the lack of burst on ball. You watch him get back in transition. The dude can't change direction right now. You watch him guard in space. Like, he looks hobbled, bro. He doesn't look right. And I'm not saying that there isn't weird shit going on. I'm not saying that this is a full excuse because he's been awful. I mean, even for playing hurt, he's been really bad. But I absolutely think that's part of the equation. I think that's part of the explanation because I've watched a lot of Tyrese Haliburton basketball. He's had slumps, right? Last year, he had a slump. I've never seen him look this physically uncomfortable on a basketball court. And that leads into emotional discomfort where he doesn't look confident doing anything out there. So the Pacers have been worse with him on the floor. He's been terrible. He's been extremely inefficient. He hasn't produced. I'm not discounting any of that. I'm just saying I don't think that the dude is right. And I still believe fundamentally in his skill set. I believe in the way that he plays basketball. I think he leads to great team offense. So I'm worried, no doubt, but I don't think that this is who Tyrese Haliburton is. So I think things are going to look better. I don't know when, and I don't know what's going on because like the Pacers are saying he isn't hurt. I don't know why they'd be doing that. I don't know why he'd still be on the court, but I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, what I believe to be true in terms of the future outlook. It's concerning. Obviously, Hallie is not the player he was in December of last year, but do I think he is much better than the player that he is right now at this moment? Yes, I do.
Emotional discomfort.
That killed me. It
That's
killed me.
That's a new one.
He is, bro. He can't move.
Discomfort's hilarious.
I like his
Carson,
confidence. I like his confidence level.
Carson and Logan, like Drew mentioned, love you guys like a brother. You have given me 3 new excuses for Haliburton for why he's playing like shit. And every single month, there's something new. It's something new. It's now emotional discomfort.
No. Okay.
we had on Twitter the
Don't
bed
overreact
stuff.
to that. I'm saying, no, I haven't mentioned the bed.
What
I think
about
that's
the home road splits? I didn't know. Is there any insight there?
Bro, I think he's hurt. I think he is hurt. And I think if you guys watch him move
He
on the
needs his
basketball court and don't think he's
Bobopedic.
hurt.
That's what it is. He needs his Bobopedic.
Maybe, bro. Maybe that is the case. I don't know. I honestly don't think the home road thing is that real. I think he just had a couple good home games. I think he sucked. I think he sucked this whole year.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been fine at home.
But
listen,
Carson actually was good. What are the 3 excuses though?
Yeah, because I think it all stems from health.
Look, I'm gonna put the analysis hat on. Let's get the trolling hat off. It wasn't 3. I'm gonna put the analysis hat on. Listen, I'm at a 7, probably an 8. I'll go 8.4 with the Indiana Pacers because I think Hallie. I don't think they're on the same page in terms of the medical team and Haliburton. I don't think they're on the same page because if he is hurt, then fine. We understand that. They admitted he was hurt last year. We know he was kind of playing for that contract. He still wanted to get that money. Listen, I respect that. That's understandable. But you played in the playoffs. He was really good. You played in the Olympics. There was no communication on you being injured and anything like that.
There was no PT for him.
He had a leg. No, he had a leg thing. He had a leg thing, but it came out after.
He also didn't play much.
That's why he didn't play. That's why.
Listen, out there for the vibes in Olympics, it was lit. I get it. I respect the hell out of it. He kept it 100. He said, I'm just like the kid that don't do nothing on the project, and we got an A. And I respect that. So now this year comes in, you're injured, but the like you mentioned, Carson, the medical staff is saying he's not injured. What's going on? What's the situation? If he is injured and it is a serious back injuries are something you cannot play with. Sit him out, give him some time to rest. If it's not an injury, and this is where the trolling hat comes back on, he is fucking garbage.
Then it's a 10. Then the panic meter is a 10.
Shit, and I am at a 10, and that is embarrassing because the way he looks, I think outside of that Knicks game, I don't think he's had a good game since. It's been really, really bad. And I think the passing's been there. The playmaking, the offense is just that scoring, that same vibes you're getting, the same juice he provides to that offense, the 3-point shooting, it's just the mismatch against big men, everything just seems off with this Pacers team. And then on top of that, the Pacers lost both of their bigs, to season-end injuries, specifically Isaiah Jackson, because I think he was really good for them. And then this offense, it's just me and Carson was talking about this yesterday. Defensively, they're not a serious team to me in the grand scheme of things. I know they can put these stretches together, but they just don't have the guys. They don't have that elite top end defender. They don't have even a great to good. Miles Turner is okay as a shot blocker, but for his full season, I don't like him as your rim protector, somebody that can anchor your defense. I think they rely too much on these offensive guards that can't really defend too much, and they're a little bit small in that department. This team is just not serious defensively, and if the hub of your offense is dealing 100%. With these nagging injuries, it's going to be really tough for this Pacers team to keep it in motion, keep it good. Now, it's really simple. Get a left hand. I mean, I know we like to joke around and have fun with this shit, but get a bag, man. When you get a bag, this shit looks a lot different, man. You
can't move, bro.
I get it. He could jump in the fucking air, Logan. If he can jump in the fucking air.
And he's taking dumbass floaters. I agree, man. I don't get it.
Bro, okay, listen. You're talking about his left. He's a right-hand dominant player, but that didn't stop him from having that hasn't stopped him from having multiple all-star seasons, right? That's not the problem. The problem isn't that his left hand hasn't improved. The problem is that his jumper is completely off and his mobility, his burst is gone right now. It's not there. And I do think that there's a psychological impact from that too. But I'm with you on all the big picture stuff. Like you said, we talked about this. The Pacers were not at all in good position to replicate an Eastern Conference Finals run because their defense sucks. But like, if they're going to address that, if they're going to put the dudes around Hallie that could make them a contender, the dudes around Hallie and Siakam, like the athletes on the wings, probably improving defensively at center. That's the stuff that could take them up a notch to where they would be a serious playoff team. But that all is contingent upon Hallie being the dude that we have seen.
And
right? Not the dude that we saw in December, the dude we saw last year overall. And he's not that right now.
Jarris Walker's looking like a miss. Like, he hasn't been able to crack any rotation
He's played
minutes.
solid recently.
Hold up, bro. Hold up. We're not going to slander my boy Jarris.
No, I love Jarris. I love Jarris. Logan, trust me.
Jarris is going to be nice. Jarris is going to be nice.
He's been struggling to crack the rotation. He has been getting minutes lately. Like, this team has a lot of young players. Like, this Pacers team, it's, they traded 3 firsts for Siakam. I'm not saying Siakam is the problem or nothing like that, but there's really no insane, like, there's no avenue for them to truly, take advantage of this middling East at the moment. If I can say it.
As long as Haliburton is injured, then no.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. He makes everything go. He's the only reason.
I mean, even if he's healthy, though, what are they? The 4th best team?
Listen, but if Boston could play Cleveland, and then maybe you could get a favorable matchup against, I would probably still take New York, but at least there's the path
Orlando's
Boston,
there.
Cleveland, Knicks, Orlando are all easily clear. Philly still has a higher ceiling, bro. They suck right now, but they're not in a great spot. But Hallie obviously needs to be better.
I think the best thing you said more than anything was psychological, because there's constant reports saying that he's not injured. And we could talk about the mobility. He doesn't look like he has that same burst. But what I think it comes down to more than anything right now, he's in an extremely bad, horrific slump. His claim to fame in the NBA was being this overly efficient basketball player, not just as a passer, because even still, and right now, that's his best attribute by far, his playmaking. He still kept the turnovers down. He's that natural playmaker that we know. But what was also his claim to fame was how efficient he was as a scorer. With his limited opportunity, he was giving you around 29. I'm not even talking about November. Forget about that. I'm talking about his first stint with the Pacers when, before he got injured, they were a fringe playoff play-in team, and he was a 50-40 guy with limited opportunity, limited attempts, because he was facilitating but taking smart shots. His form, his fundamentals, his mechanics are off. And I think that it is more psychological than anything, more so than being injured. That's kind of where I'm at, especially when the team constantly says he's not injured, because I think that they would be doing him a favor. The media team would be doing him a favor by saying, yeah, he's trying to grind it out. He's trying to play through injury. He's trying to be the team leader that we need, because they know that he's here. He's the one that makes us go. Now, Indiana understands that, because they saw what he was capable of in November, in December, so much so that they traded away 3 first-round picks for Pascal Siakam, even though that there was a minor chance that he may not even sign back with the Indiana Pacers, because he had said, I want to stay with Toronto. I want my contract. But the front office believed in the future and the ceiling of Tyrese Haliburton so much that they decided to take that swing. And with Tyrese playing the way that he's played so far to start this season, my panic meter for Tyrese is at a firm 7.58. I'm giving him that grace period that it is November, that you cannot shoot 38 and 26 this long. There's no way, especially for what you've shown us in your career. You should get back to your median that is around 18 points, that is around 47, 48% from the field. That's what I'm expecting. But you need to figure it out, because you have been placed, whether it's fair or not, you've been deemed the face of the franchise, the future of the franchise, and you need to start playing that way. He simply hasn't.
So, gun to y'all's heads.
Go ahead, Logan.
Is it fool's gold? Do y'all just not? Y'all think this is more the real Tyrese Haliburton? Because
I don't think 38% is Tyrese. I don't think that's him.
Because what he was doing last season was like one of the best guards in the NBA. I don't know if he's going to get back to that level.
I still think he's that guy. That's what I'm saying is, like, we've seen, you're talking about the large sample size that we've gotten from Haliburton. That's the player that I know and love.
Which Haliburton? The playoff Haliburton or no?
November Hallie is a myth, right? Because that guy, you're always going to have. Yeah. You're always going to have pull up when your shot diet is so tough, like Haliburton's. You're going to have stretches where you hit all the shots, and you're averaging 25 a night. I think Hallie is a 20 in 12 consistent guy. That is the Haliburton that I know. And so that's what I'm asking you guys is, do you think we got bamboozled? Is this the real Tyrese Haliburton, a inefficient, tough shot guy that is overrated as a playmaker? I tend to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm just trying to figure out where he belongs in the mix.
Basically, is Haliburton an all-star, all-NBA player? That's what it is.
He's not this. Well, this isn't all-star. This isn't obviously not all. Yeah, this is
barely starter.
Yeah,
This is bad.
So like the low end isn't all-star. The low end is like average starter. I mean, this is bad. This is below average starter. He can't hit anything. You know, like he's shooting under 30% right now. I just don't understand. Like I get it because he doesn't look 100%, right? Like I get that. He doesn't look like, not that he's a super athletic guy, but you could tell that he doesn't look like the same guy from last season. With that being said, I don't understand why the Pacers would hide it. I don't understand why the Pacers wouldn't say, Hallie's banged up. He has this nagging back injury. We're going to shut him down for 4 to 5 weeks because this is your franchise player. This is the player you have gone all in on to build around. And Mickey Mouse or not, you went to an ECF last season. So he showed you, and listen, front offices are far more delusional than fans are, especially fans that aren't a fan of the team. Like none of us are Pacers fans. I think we understand what the Pacers are. Front offices, especially when you go on an ECF run or you win some meaningless games down the stretch or your first or second round pick goes hot for the last 2 weeks of the season, you buy in and you get a little delusional. So the Pacers have to be saying to themselves, we saw this guy who was relatively healthy at the end of last season. We went to the ECF, and hell, we gave Boston the toughest fight out of everybody in the playoffs. Are we going to be able to replicate that year after year? I don't know. The East still has some teams that are on our level, if not better. But what do you gain out of hiding injuries from your star player, and not only hiding injuries, but he's playing poorly? If Haliburton was injured, but he's giving you like 25 and 12 a night, like you were talking about, and he was looking like Haliburton, it's like, all right, you know, you want to get some good positioning in the East. Maybe we could find some time around the All-Star break to shut him down for a couple weeks. But to do it in November, I just don't understand why the Pacers would try to hide something.
I don't disagree. The only explanation that I can think of is that like Hallie is just a dude who is weirdly committed to playing through stuff, because we did see that last year after the hamstring. Like, I don't know, that's weird. All I know is, Drew, I sent you a video. I saw.
Yeah.
Is that a healthy basketball player?
More than anything, there's one to me that
no. I'll take a yes or no answer. Does that look like a healthy? And that's not with the ball in his hands.
Yeah,
these are defense. These are transition clips.
That's why there was a part of me that felt like it looked lazy. It looked lazy.
Here, I'll drop it in the chat right here.
That was just crazy. Like you could just add it to the video right here.
No, that's why I was here looking at my phone watching the video. I watched it a couple of times just to be honest. There was part of me that felt it was lazy. There was a part of me that also felt like that little static shuffle that he had. I can see what you're talking about.
He's moving like a hermit crab, man.
Yeah, he looks like he can't change direction in space. He looks hobbled. So that's where I'm just like, I can't come up with a good explanation of why they wouldn't be open about it.
To be that kind of hobbled, that young.
You're hurt. I mean, if he is that hobbled, if that's healthy Hallie, oh, bro, it's over.
I mean, that's what happened to Ben Simmons.
But I don't think that that's the case.
Ben Simmons had the back injury when he first started playing with the Nets, and he looked bad. So Kaylin Cooper, I know her. She does some good stuff with the Pacers. Basically, she put in this thread that he had 7 total drives against the Bulls, and the Pacers didn't score any of them. But last season, including the playoffs, there were 86 players who tallied at least 500 drives. Among them, Tyrese ranked second in points per chance on direct drives, only trailing Luka. So this is somebody that, yes, like he is an elite offensive engine that doesn't look anywhere near that. I'm noticing a trend with the Pacers, and I hope this isn't the case because I love Tyrese Haliburton. But Paul George, franchise star, top of the world, goes toe-to-toe with LeBron and the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. That summer in the Olympics, he breaks his leg. He gets traded. You get Victor Oladipo. He becomes a franchise star, all-NBA player. He tears his ACL. Now with Tyrese Haliburton, he becomes one of the better guards in the league, and it looks like he is now dealing with some health issues. We're kind of seeing like the third time around now with the Pacers, a franchise cornerstone is injured, and Tyrese's is not as serious, at least at the moment that we know of Victor Oladipo's and Paul George's, but it kind of feels like a similar trend, and it feels like Patriots fans are dealing with this all over again with Tyrese.
Logan, to answer your question, I think what I expect is around the 20-12 range, 50 and 40. I think I expect him to be a top 20, between the 20 and 30 range. The league is super, super talented. I think there's years where he looks like a top 15 player in the league. There's definitely years he can do that. But just right now, I mean, like I mentioned, why are they hiding? I'm just so confused at this whole situation. Like, and then he's wincing. I saw the video. He does look like he's wincing. And then you mentioned that stat last year. That stat is odd to me because dealing with a hamstring and then still going to the rim is tough. A hamstring injury is also another one that's lingering. That's a bothersome. So if it is his back, and I think a back injury is just as bad as a broken leg, because back injuries are that's your whole vibe right there. So if it is his back, and I saw some other report that he's every time he's on the bench he's sitting with heating pads, and he's all suited up to get back in the game. Listen, as an organization, you have to protect your star. You have to protect the guy you just gave a max contract to. And if he is dealing with a back injury, and this is like all jokes aside, I don't want to lose another star to nailing injuries. We already lost Ben Simmons, not lost him, but Ben Simmons has those lingering back injuries. Even Steve Kerr. Yeah, Steve Kerr. Oh God, Steve Kerr, coach. He was dealing with those back injuries. He couldn't even coach, and that's just standing on the sideline, coaching, sometimes sitting. He couldn't even coach for the Warriors. We had Michael Porter Jr. literally miss, he lost out on the best, his prime. He had to get relegated to a role player because his back was so messed up. So I hope that doesn't happen to Haliburton. I hope they do get that figured out at whatever they do with the Indiana Pacers.